Alright Nexians, buckle up, because today we're not just talking about strength or even raw power, we're diving headfirst into something far more fundamental, something that crackles through the very fabric of existence itself. From the brain-rattling fury of a thunder god unleashing a continental storm, to the silent, unseen torrent of data flowing through the deepest circuits of our digital world. Few abilities in all of fiction are as versatile, as fundamentally destructive, and as intricately woven into the universe's very essence as electrokinesis. Trust me when I say this, Nexians, it's a whole lot more than just shooting lightning from your fingertips. This power touches every aspect of our modern world, from the small static shock to the grandest display of electrical might. Prepare to have your circuits overloaded. So, what is electrokinesis truly? At its core, it's not merely controlling an element. It's the dominion over electromagnetic force itself, one of the four fundamental forces that literally govern our entire universe. Think about that. While other elemental powers might give you control over matter, the earth you stand on, the water you drink, or the air you breathe, an electrokinetic commands pure energy in its most volatile and fundamental form. They manipulate the very particles that drive atoms, power technology, and spark life itself. Symbolically, electricity is steeped in meaning across cultures and stories. It represents not just raw untamed power, but also the very spark of life, the flash of genius, lightning-fast intellect, incredible speed, and even uncontrollable rage. It's the moment of inspiration, the terrifying grandeur of a storm, and the silent hum of innovation all rolled into one. How do characters even come to possess such a fundamental ability? It's as varied and electrifying as the power itself. Sometimes it's a genetic mutation, an inherent gift woven into their very DNA, much like the iconic X-Men's Storm, whose very being resonates with the planet's atmospheric energies. Other times, it's a divine gift bestowed upon mortals by powerful entities, making them conduits for cosmic energy, famously seen with the thunder god Thor and his mastery over lightning and storms. And then, there are those who achieve it through brutal training and an almost superhuman mastery of internal energy, transforming their own life force into electrical power, like the chillingly precise Killua from Hunter x Hunter, who literally weaponizes his aura into lightning. Each origin story adds another layer to the immense potential of this S-tier ability. Okay Nexians, now for the truly electrifying part. Let's dive deep into what this power can genuinely do as a user ascends through the ranks, evolving from someone who can barely light a bulb to a living, breathing god of the storm. Each level unlocks not just new feats, but entirely new paradigms of control and destructive potential. At its foundational level, an electrokinetic begins by generating and manipulating small, often visible amounts of static electricity. Think less superhero landing and more controlled friction. We're talking about feats like shocking bullies with a precise, low voltage jolt, making objects stick to surfaces through static cling, or even jump-starting a car battery. It's the rudimentary understanding of electron flow, enough to disrupt small electronics, create minor sensory overloads, or even subtly influence simple mechanisms. It's undeniably useful in a pinch, or for a prank. But make no mistake, this is just the appetizer, a mere flicker compared to the storm to come. At this level, this is where the power truly begins to manifest as a weapon and a tool. An intermediate user moves beyond static and into the realm of electrical currents. They can project formidable, visible arcs of pure lightning, capable of frying opponents, shorting out complex machinery, or even melting weaker metals. They can also create small, localized electrical force fields, deflecting projectiles or briefly stunning attackers. Furthermore, their growing understanding of electromagnetism allows for subtle magnetic manipulation, perhaps causing metallic objects to levitate briefly or drawing small armaments towards them. They become a dangerous mid-range combatant, capable of inflicting significant damage and controlling a small battlefield. However, while powerful, the raw energy at this level can still be imprecise, often described as using a fire hose when you truly need the precision of a scalpel. A proficient master of electrokinesis transcends mere projection. Their control becomes intricate, expansive, and devastatingly precise. They can perform incredible feats like siphoning electricity from an entire city's power grid, absorbing lightning strikes, or even charging their own bodies to enhance their physical capabilities, delivering supercharged punches or moving with blurring speed. Their understanding of electromagnetic fields is so advanced that they can manipulate vast quantities of metal with precise control, potentially creating magnetic shields strong enough to withstand explosions or even levitating vehicles. They might also begin to stimulate their own nervous system, achieving incredible reaction time and even bursts of superhuman speed. Their control is no longer about raw force, but about focused, intricate applications that can turn urban environments into their own personal playground. At the absolute zenith of electrokinetic power, the user becomes indistinguishable from a living force of nature. Their command extends to atmospheric electricity, allowing them to summon continent-spanning thunderstorm, conjure cyclones of lightning, or direct global electrical currents with a thought. Beyond raw power, their control becomes terrifyingly subtle and insidious. They can hack into any electronic system on the planet without even touching a keyboard. This is true technopathy, turning the digital world into their personal kingdom. Even more chillingly, they can hijack an opponent's very brain and nervous system by manipulating their bioelectricity. This means the ability to stop hearts with a thought, puppet limbs like a macabre doll, erase memories, or even rewrite personalities by stimulating specific neurons. It's not just absolute control over energy. It's absolute, terrifying control over life, mind, and machine. But even a god, no matter how powerful, can be grounded. Every S-tier ability, no matter how overwhelming it seems, has its critical vulnerabilities. Let's delve into the fundamental weaknesses of electrokinesis, dissecting them from the smallest, most obvious counter to the most glaring, potentially game-breaking flaw. First, and perhaps the most universally understood counter, insulators. Electricity by its very nature flows along the path of least resistance. A thick layer of non-conductive material like rubber, plastic, ceramic, or even a specialized composite material can effectively ground out an electrical attack, making it incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for an electrokinetic to directly affect a well-prepared opponent. Imagine trying to shock someone encased in a special rubber suit. Your power simply dissipates into the environment, or it remains trapped within your own body. This forces the electrokinetic to resort to indirect attacks or brute force, bypassing their primary ability. Think about Luffy versus Eneru. That whole fight showcased this perfectly. Next up, we have speed. While proficient electrokinetics can indeed stimulate their own nervous system for a burst of enhanced speed, they are often decisively outpaced by true dedicated speedsters. It doesn't matter how immense or devastating your lightning bolt is if your opponent can consistently dodge it after it's been fired. A speedster can close distances before an attack can be properly charged, escape electrical traps before they fully form, or simply evade every single projected arc, turning the electrokinetic's overwhelming power into a frustratingly impotent display against a nimble foe. Precision and targeting become incredibly difficult against hyper-fast movement. Now, for a significant one that often gets overlooked, specialized masters. While a powerful electrokinetic might possess a secondary command over magnetism due to the close relationship between electricity and magnetism, they will almost always be at a severe disadvantage against a true master of magnetism, like Magneto. A pure master of magnetism possesses far more precise, potent, and nuanced control over magnetic fields. They can tear apart metallic objects an electrokinetic might only be able to subtly influence, create magnetic force fields that shrug off electrical attacks, or even disrupt the electrokinetic's own electrical balance without needing to generate a single spark. It's a case of broad control versus superior mastery. And finally, the most glaring, terrifying, and potentially game-ending weakness, conductivity, especially concerning large quantities of water. Electricity, as we know, seeks the path of least resistance. A massive body of water, like a lake, ocean, or even a heavy rainstorm, can disperse a lightning bolt, diffusing its power and rendering it largely useless for targeted attacks. But the true horror lies in self-inflicted damage. If an electrokinetic is submerged in water, unleashing their own power could become an agonizing act of self-annihilation. Their own energy, instead of striking an external target, would follow the path of least resistance through their own body, shocking themselves as much, if not more, than their intended target. This makes large aquatic environments or sustained water attacks an existential threat to even the most powerful electrokinetic. Now, for something truly special. Nexians. We've covered the what, the raw power, the scaling abilities, the critical weaknesses, but now it's time to talk about the chilling what if. I'm officially introducing a brand new segment to NerdVana Nexus called the Lore Build. Each video of Superpower breakdown, we will use this section to peel back the surface layer of these incredible abilities and dive into something truly unique. Whether it's the specific, often disturbing science behind the fiction, a potential evolutionary path for the power, or how it stacks up against other, seemingly unrelated abilities in unexpected ways. This is where we take our analysis to the next level, exploring the untapped and often terrifying depths of these powers beyond just throwing fireballs or summoning storms. First, let's talk about bioelectric manipulation. Think about it. Your entire human body, every thought, every muscle contraction, every beat of your heart runs on incredibly precise, tiny electrical signals. A basic electrokinetic might shock you, or even stun you, but a true master wouldn't just send external jolts. They could bypass your skin entirely and directly hijack your nervous system. Imagine the horror. They could stop your heart with a mere thought, bringing instant cardiac arrest. They could puppet your limbs, forcing you to move against your will, turning you into a marionette in your own body. They could erase your memories by disrupting specific neural pathways, or even, the most terrifying and vile, rewrite your personality by overstimulating or suppressing certain neurons, fundamentally changing who you are. It is the ultimate violation, turning your own biological functions against you, without even leaving as much as a single mark. Second, and equally terrifying in our modern interconnected world, is technopathy. If an electrokinetic can manipulate electric currents, what about the currents flowing through our digital infrastructure? In today's society, this is arguably the ultimate superpower. A master technopath could drain entire bank accounts from miles away without even touching a keyboard, making millions vanish. They could literally listen in on any private conversation through any phone, computer, or smart device, turning every word into an open book. They could even launch nuclear missiles with a flick of a finger, plunging nations into war. Or conversely, they could shut down entire power grids, cutting off all communication, transportation, commerce, plunging global society into instant chaos and darkness. The digital world wouldn't just be their playground, it would be their personal kingdom where information and control are absolute. No firewall, no encryption, no physical barrier could even dream of stopping them. So the question remains, who truly wears the lightning crown? Who are the legends who have mastered the crackling might of electrokinesis across the vast nerdy multiverse? Let's give a thunderous shout out to some of the most iconic users who have left their undeniable mark. We have to start this off with the electric assassin Killua from Hunter x Hunter. He perfectly showcases the deadly precise bioelectric side of the power with his terrifying Godspeed ability, transforming his aura into lightning to achieve impossible speeds and reactions. This allows him to deliver electrifying blows that paralyze and incapacitate his foes with shocking efficiency. Now, for raw, destructive magical power, you absolutely have to mention Laxus from Fairy Tail. As a lightning dragon slayer, his lightning magic is a true force of nature, capable of devastating large areas and enhancing his own physical attacks with crackling energy. We can't talk about electrokinetic power without talking about Misaka Mikoto from a certain scientific railgun. She can fire metallic projectiles at supersonic speeds using electromagnetic force and manipulate electricity with incredible finesse, controlling everything from simple sparks to powerful lightning bolts. Rounding out our anime quartet, we have the self-proclaimed god, Eneru, from One Piece, though he'd probably zap me for just calling him Eneru. His Logia-type Devil Fruit made him a living lightning bolt, capable of shocking entire islands and moving at immense speeds. Next up, we have one of the more iconic users, whose electrical displays are etched into cinematic history. It's undoubtedly Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. His signature Force lightning isn't just electricity, it's a terrifying expression of pure dark side hatred and concentrated evil, capable of torturing and disintegrating even the most powerful Jedi Masters. And an honorable mention has to go to Eleven from Stranger Things. While her core powers are psionic in nature, her raw emotional intensity often manifests with destructive and overwhelming electrical side effects, showcasing a primal, untamed connection to energetic forces that can fry lights and cause chaos. Now, moving on to video games, we have Cole McGrath from the Infamous series. His entire moveset is built around absorbing, generating, and unleashing electrical power, making him the definitive video game electrokinetic. He is also capable of traversing cities on power lines, unleashing devastating electrical attacks, and even healing himself by draining energy. And of course, since we're on the topic of video games, let us bow down to the Thunder God himself, Raiden from Mortal Kombat. As an immortal deity, he is a divine protector who channels literal lightning bolts, controls storms with immense divine might, and uses his electrical prowess in brutal, iconic fighting styles. Moving on to comics, we have the undisputed queen, and that's what she'll always be, Storm from the X-Men. While she controls all weather, her mastery over lightning and atmospheric electricity is second to none, allowing her to not only conjure blizzards, but summoning down thunderbolts and manipulating the very air around her with devastating electrical force. Next up, we gotta acknowledge Black Lightning, a hero who uses his innate ability to generate and manipulate electromagnetic fields for justice, whether it's through concussive lightning blasts, creating force fields, or enhancing his physical prowess. He is not someone to forget about. Next up, my childhood favorite, Static Shock. He uses his phenomenal control over electromagnetism to do incredible things, from levitating massive metal objects like manhole covers to sticking to walls and even creating electromagnetic shields. He is someone who I will always have a special place in my heart for. Rounding this out, we can't forget about our web-slinging buddy, Miles Morales, bringing his own unique bioelectric flare with his devastating Venom Strike. This ability allows him to deliver a powerful, contained, and often paralyzing touch-based electrical attack, making him a formidable and unpredictable foe in close quarters. Beyond these titans, many others tap into electrokinesis in impressive ways that deserve a rapid-fire nod. Think Sasuke with his piercing Chidori, the Raikage and his blistering lightning-release chakra mode, Killer Bee with his electrifying lariat. From the world of Bleach, we have Yoruichi Shihoin, shocking with her powerful Shunko and electrified flash steps. And then we have Pikachu from Pokemon, bringing the thunder with his iconic Thunderbolt. Then we get Rimuru Tempest from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, unleashing devastating black lightning attacks. In My Hero, we have Denki Kaminari, electrifying the battlefield with his indiscriminate discharge. From Demon Slayer, there's Zenitsu and other thunder-breathing users, striking with blinding speed via Thunderclap and Flash. Of course, we have the mighty Thor, wielding Mjolnir's lightning with cosmic might. We can't forget about Kakashi Hatake, slicing through his foes with his infamous Raikiri. Then, there's the cunning Azula from Avatar, commanding her terrifying blue lightning. There's also Sinbad from Magi, unleashing the raw power of Ball's lightning. And let's not forget the Thunder God himself, Kashimo, from Jujutsu Kaisen, with his electrifying curse technique. The sheer versatility of this power means its presence is felt across countless verses. So there you have it, Nexians, electrokinesis. We've journeyed from the tiniest spark to the terrifying implications of mind control and global domination. From generating simple static to rewriting a person's very brain. from shorting out light bulbs to plunging entire cities into darkness. It is beyond doubt one of the most versatile, terrifying, and fundamentally powerful abilities in all of fiction. My final ranking, as you saw earlier in the NEXUS-DEX, is a definitive and absolute S tier. The sheer offensive power combined with horrifying, unseen potential of its bioelectric and technopathic applications truly puts it in a class of its own. But what do you think, Nexians? Did I miss your favorite electrokinetic? What do you find the most terrifying about its lore build implications? And what incredible power should we plug into and break down next, right here on the channel? Shock me with your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for joining the Nexus. Stay bright, stay powerful, and this is your captain, signing off.